In 2020, the price of food in Canada will rise to $487 per family, with British Columbia being hit hardest, at $500. The media would have you believe that due to the gradual change in climate, food prices must increase. Sounds like Justin Trudeau is not telling the entire story, and just wants the population to slowly starve, as he prepares his concentration camps and joins forces with Syria.
Hello and welcome to a special episode of the Two Shot Factor. Food price increase, British Columbia.
Mommy, will you not be buying the McCain Super Fries?
So an average Canadian family, average Canadian family will pay about $500 more this year, it's already 2020, than last year. But then again, I've read $487, but BC's the most, and that's where I am, and quite frankly, if it wasn't here, I probably wouldn't be doing this report, now would I? We actually did a little bit of wandering around in the stores and took a look at some of the prices now so you can gauge that with what might happen later in the year. Carlos, can we run that clip?
This is
$6.
Yeah.
How much should it be?
It was probably what? In the summertime, you could probably see this for two. It was $3 as of like less than 2 weeks ago.
See, look, we're going to be going up a lot of money. $500 for the next year for family prices estimated next year. And so I'm in the stores now talking about prices. This boy had to get sick from E. coli from the Salinas stuff. Remember they stopped selling it a while ago? You got sick.
I've been trying to eat healthier, and I actually got E. coli. I got sick with E. coli.
Are you serious?
Nah, April. But who knows if it really was from lettuce. Or...
Thumbs down.
Right?
Did you go to KFC and they had no lettuce?
Right? Exactly.
I was there.
It gets to be so expensive to try and eat healthy.
This is as cheap as you're going to get it. This is like $1, 100 grams. See, the grape is $2.94, and that's a sale price. $3.33, it's a normal price. You get them for $2.97 sometimes. $3.97, $3.97. They're 400 grams. They're these things. That's very mild cheese. Let's not work with that. $22.82 for this. This is $6.55 a kilogram. Pizza mozzarella. That's a bit better. 400 grams. $2.97. That's a little sale price right there. Got some Crave. Everyone's been eating Crave for years, of course. $6.44. That's no good. I don't know, let's get out of here. What are your average prices? So you want to compare. You don't want to go in there and think, oh, $3 is all of a sudden your regular price for something that was $2.50, right? You need to know these things, and I'm here to help you with that, because Reese Peanut Butter Puffs is what life is all about.
Why didn't we get more of that girl? What a bad interview.
As food becomes more scarce for commoners and peasants across Canada, they will be forced to eat hobo stew. And with every 29 cans purchased, you get one free mouthful of concentration camp crunchy candy.
Bauhausen, Wealth Universities, whatever. They've been forecasting the cost of groceries for a decade, and they're never wrong. So the 10 years of history suggests the 2019 forecast will be within $23 of the actual price increase. The complexity of food pricing is a challenge, but the ability to deploy predictive analytics solutions and machine learning algorithms has never been better, says McGinty. Climate change is the biggest factor. Climate change? R2D2, it's climate change! A report published in December said uncertainty around climate change would increase food bills for the average Canadian family $487, BC being the highest. That's where the $500 comes from. Wait a minute, so uncertainty about climate change is increasing the food bills. I'm uncertain about climate change. Quickly, increase the prices. Meat, of course, is going to increase the most, despite Canada's increased interest in plant-based burgers. Yeah, because like you and I and all our friends all eat plant-based burgers. How many friends do you have that honestly eat plant-based burgers?
For your health, for our planet, for the animals and for each other, we have to switch to plant-based foods.
In BC, the cost of gas could hit records once again, and although I have yet to find anything about this on official reports, I do believe that fuel price increases could affect the food prices. The cost of transportation of food goes up, so somebody has to be responsible for covering those costs, and that's us, the consumers of food. When you think about that, it almost takes whatever price increase they've estimated to stem from climate change and reduces it slightly. Okay, so Mr. Chan, how have the prices affected your family?
Oh man, so much money, everything expensive. Cannot pay rent. My children starving.
And what kind of vehicle do you have currently?
Oh, I got a bicycle, so fast. Got a 4-speed.
And does your family have transportation? Do you need to use the bicycle?
No, they ride on my shoulders.
And if you're planning to move or buy a new home this year, those food prices hurt even more, as the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation forecasts the average price to increase to $506,200 to $531,000. Although I think it's important to mention that you can still buy a house in Detroit for $5.
This is actually the property that we were coming to see. The one that says, "Stay out, you will be shot." This is a property on the market for $800. The ones that has no windows, obviously you can look right through it and tell that nobody's in there on the other side of the door waiting for you to come in.
You have to be very careful with those.
As you can see, due to food shortages, for dinner tonight, I'm eating Captain Crunch. Younger generations especially decide what to eat in part by looking at the environmental impact of their meal, said Charlie Bois, and turn to more plant-based diets, partial or full.
Celebrate our grand opening, Integrity Burger! Chiba.
Climate change, droughts, fires, rising sea levels. Oh, come on. They had rising sea levels way worse than this back in the biblical times. You never seen Moses complain about climate change. It was all about Moses change.
You see, it's climate change.
Honestly though, they talk about less snow, and you hear it lots about how people in the old days had more snow, but if we look at these graphs, over the last 25 years for Vancouver, just look at these snowfalls in 1996 and 2008. This chart here doesn't seem to suggest a lot has changed in Vancouver's summers over the last 25 years either. Look at 2009, for example. In fact, back in biblical times, didn't they have serious food shortages? Remember Moses and the Israelites wandering around and for 40 years? Personally, if you look at a map screen, I think they could have hit Jordan in 2 if they really tried. Nonetheless, they prayed and received manna. What kind of food have you switched to buy? What kind of food did you used to have, and what are you going to have to buy now?
Usually, I used to eat the chow mein. Now I go into the dumpster. You know, it's free. The restaurant, they throw away the food. I go dumpster. They don't see me. Sneaky.
Yes, very sneaky. That's a good plan. You'll save a lot of money there.
Lots of money, yes.
Now, the price of houses are going to go up. You're not going to be able to move anytime soon, are you, Mr. Chan?
Oh, we go into the sewer like the Ninja Turtles. We go and live with the rats.
You mean Splinter?
Yeah, Splinter. He's my best friend.
If you're running out of booze, or for whatever reason need some Coke, please, make sure it's Tegrity. Because Tegrity is about community and family. It's clean and not too speedy. It also helps out people in Colombia and Mexico. Children will obviously be sold into slavery. Silvopasture, which I briefly touched on in my South Park climate change video, is an ancient practice which integrates trees and pastures into a single system for raising livestock. Yes, got it right. Wait, keep going. Research suggests silvopasture far outpaces any grassland technique for counteracting the methane emissions of livestock and sequestering carbon underhoof. Yeah, sequester. You even know what that means? I don't even know what underhoof means, to be honest. Vanderhoof. Pastures strewn or crisscrossed with trees sequester 5 to 10 times as much carbon as those of the size that are treeless, storing it in both biomass and soil. But why would anyone want that? Okay, what else do we got in our notes here? Last August, a report about climate change's impact on land from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change stated that as the effects of a warming planet get more severe, food security will become increasingly unstable. Researchers say droughts and other extreme weather conditions are what's behind the increase in price of food. Wait a minute though. What about extreme weather events 10 years ago, 50 years ago, or even 100 years ago. How do we know when a particular stage of extreme weather was caused by climate change or not? How does that work? I mean, does climate change cause every single type of weather? Doesn't it seem like kind of a tag? Sometimes it's an easy thing to blame and then all of a sudden you can have a price. I don't even understand some of this stuff.
The Consumer Price Index is an indicator of changes in consumer prices experienced by Canadians. It is obtained by Derek Touchot so he can help you learn.
The price is wrong, bitch.
Bakery goods will be rising by at least 0 to 2%, dairy 1 to 3%, seafood, restaurant and vegetable about 2 to 4%, fruit 1.5 to 3.5%, and meat 4 to 6%.
You got the rollback prices. Yo, I eat various wild rices. I got them dipped in Hawaiian spices. Ching, ching, ching. It's a supermarket crisis. Okay. Got some mini wheats, $4.94. Usually you can get that for like $3 or something like that. Low price of $4.48. It's not that low price. It's just the sale that we have to deal with right now. This is vanilla latte flavor, or latte a la vanilla. They don't really give English a real break here. It's French no matter which way you swing it, but it is vanilla mini wheats. I might make an exception for this. I like to keep my prices not higher than $3.50 for an average cereal box, but I'll do it. I'll do it for this. We've got the $3.47, but you can't find the vanilla ones.
Climate change is climate control, with hundreds of greenhouses appearing throughout BC. They had early snowfalls in Alberta that destroyed crop yields. Early snowfalls can be blamed on climate change. More than a third of the vegetables that North Americans consume are grown in a tiny part of California. Is that true? Really? But over the last few years, it's been hit by wildfires and typhoons. Oh, water shortages, whatever. I'm making a list, I'm checking it 72 times. I'm gonna find out how to pay for them limes. Tequila might be lonely this year. Geopolitics are affecting our ability to feed ourselves and the rest of the world. Well, that's a mouthful.
Chums.
Oh, and cheetah chums. Learning lemurs.
Learning lemurs. Lemurs, yeah. Gorilla munch. Yeah, from Africa. Panda Puffs, that's my favorite, Panda Puffs. Oh yeah, gotta love the Panda Puffs.
And would you look at this, sometimes instead of increases, they'll just tell you it's out of stock. The minty ice cream doesn't even look that minty anymore. These 300-gram packages of prawns,
$4.97 for 300
regular
grams.
price is $8 or $9, so we really lucked out with this sale.
Tim Hortons soup, you got $3.27 right there, the chicken noodle. I'm gonna go with some herb chicken with rice today. We got it on the low price of $1.67.
Anyway, we're running out of time here, but I hope you learned a lot on the two-shot factor. Remember to subscribe and hit that like button, because that's what the kids are doing these days. Remember, if you're starving, just pray for manna. It will come.
Bitch.
I've seen it lower, going $3.87 rollback to $3.48 on the Sriracha for the bigger bottles, but I'm gonna take it because it's been hanging out in the high $3 range for a while.
Let's get those 37 cents. That's actually pretty good. There we go. Let's grab some chicken. There we go. Let's grab some chickens. There you go. Grab some chicken. Score bars, 3 for 9. Those are good. Let's get some of those. 2 for 6. Welch's grape. Okay. Welch's prune is $4.97.
These are $3.33. I buy them all the time. The Ocean Spray, there's Cranberry Mango, there's Ruby Rouge. We're hiding, we're probably gonna smuggle these out here. Got some Harvest Quaker Crunch cereal. $3.47. That's the rollback prices. $18 for a 5 to 7 kilogram each turkey. If they're over 7, then you gotta pay $24. These are the Sunrise Farm turkeys and, of course, the Flamingo turkeys. That's a crossbreed. Look at the rollback price, it's $1.87 right now. Ritz Bits sandwiches. These are the little sandwiches that they're pizza flavored. $2.47.
I don't know though, because I remember 2016 being pretty cloudy. And that was just like 3 years ago. Take a look at food prices now. Remember them so later on when you see the changes, you'll know. But I mean, it's not like, what are you gonna do about it? You gotta have like, you're gonna go whine. Hey man, you turn into like Dennis Hopper. No man, you don't talk to the food prices, man. Well, you listen, man. One time the price of like a box of cornflakes came up to me and threw me in a corner and said, do you know that if is the middle word in life, man?